let's do a little bit more work on our website. As you can see, I have actually added a couple pages already. These are some of the first grade teachers. So one option is to have a different page for each teacher, or you can have a different page. Here's the page for our field trips. Here's a page for our resources we like to share with parents, things like that. But let's go ahead and add another page because we have one more teacher to add here. So I'm going to go to Pages. I'm going to come down here, plus. I'm going to enter. And then I'll say Done. And now that page has been added. To actually get to the page, you can click here. And now I am on Mrs. Peterson's page. I can go to the next page and the next page, and I can go right back to home. So that's how we can add additional pages. Okay, let's come back here. I have added in a couple pictures, but I'd like to add in one more. So I'm going to go to Inserts, Images, Select, and I like to do a Google image search. So I'm going to say Kids, and let's see. Oh boy, there's a bunch of kids here. Sure, let's do this one. And I'm going to say Insert, and now I have 3 pictures. But I'd like to move them around. So I can actually plug that one in there. I can plug that one in there. I can even reorder them. I can move them down to share the space with this. I can drag this over and give my picture a little bit more space if I like. Okay. I've also added in this text box, when it is in normal text, you can make a list like this. And like I said, we can move this list anywhere. It's very much a drag and drop type program. Just make it look the way you'd like for it to look. Okay, so that's how we can kind of drag and drop and move things around. But let's go ahead and pop back to one of the teacher pages. Let's say we wanted to add some work to a page here. So I can go to Drive, and it's going to pull anything off of my drive that I'd like to add. I like to come over here and change this to what recent, because recent is things I just looked at, and it makes the most sense to me to go to recent. I can also search my drive. I can go through my folders, but for me, it makes the most sense just to go to recent. And what I would like to add in is this first grade George Washington slides. So this is what I have added in from my drive. It is a hyperdoc on George Washington where the students have different activities that they need to conduct. And so I have added that in. I can move it around just like anything else. I can also make it larger. And if I want to see what that would look like, I come back up here and I can click through it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of that. One thing that I need to make sure that you are aware, so if you haven't listened to anything I said, here's the most important part. What I didn't do is make sure that this is shareable. So in my drive, this assignment here, what I just added, I need to make sure that it can be shared with anyone. If I don't change my share settings, see right now it's private only to me, the parents will get an error message on their side. And that's very frustrating. So if I come here to go share, and I go advanced, and I want to change this. We want to say anyone with a link can view. Anyone with a link can view. So anything you pull out of your drive and put on your Google site, You want it to be anyone with a link can view, because we don't want them to get an error message. That is so frustrating when you're trying to get information off a website. Okay, so this teacher has added in our super cool George Washington activity. Let's go ahead and go to our next teacher. What this teacher wants to add is a Screencastify video that she has made to encourage her students to keep going. We haven't forgotten about you. We miss you, all that. So that is actually in my Drive. So I can go to Drive. I can go Recent. I can click on my Screencastify video. Click Insert. And there is my Screencastify video. Okay, so these are some ways that we can add additional ways to structure our information in Google Sites.